I'm Reverend Stephanie Neal. I'm the first priestess of the Correllian tradition. My role that I play in the tradition is hopefully coordinator slash teacher slash pastor slash chief bottle washer, and it just depends on the day of the week and what Chancellor Don and I are working on at the moment. So as you can see, we're both pretty busy running this wonderful tradition. This community is truly future forward in thinking. It recognizes that each thing that we work on today that will touch and then essentially be a seed for the future. And because we know this, we are always mindful of how we approach different subjects, and in fact what kinds of subjects we present to our community, and then of course encouraging others to do the same. Essentially, it was started by Caroline High Corral, and so she saw all of us in the future because she knew that it was going to become something important that we could have, we could live by and live peaceable lives to the best that we can. And so that was taken forward by her family, and as her family protected the tradition and expressed and did rituals on a regular basis, and it had many personal for just the family, and then they decided to eventually opening it up to the world at large. The legal status is that in fact we are known by the federal government, are recognized in the federal government as a 501c3, and that took a lot of work on many people's parts, but it, we accomplished it, and it's excellent to be recognized by the country we live in, and that it's a good thing. That is such a broad question, which I'm sure everybody will say the same thing, but the way I define Wicca, it's a way of living our life knowing that there are so many precepts that we can take hold of and apply to our lives, so that as we apply these beautiful precepts that we are moving towards being and becoming better human beings. Evolving. We recognize that there's going to truly be, and in fact we're probably right in the midst of the beginnings of evolving into the next human consciousness. And Wicca, especially Correllian Wicca, because I happen to be part of, and I'm going to have a love for Correllianism over, and yet all Wiccan traditions I would imagine has just as amazing precepts to help their membership to see that they are much bigger than just their skin and bones, or what they do in life, or how they live, or where they live. They recognize as Wiccans that we are much bigger than anyone has ever told us, and we can do much more than we have ever imagined before. I'm the first priestess of the Correllian tradition. I am very proud to say that, knowing that this tradition is true. It truly does touch the hearts of so many people that enter into its gates. Once again, that could be a long list, but since we only have a short amount of time, I would say the aspects celebrating many of the phases of the moon, celebrating the Sabbats throughout the year, recognizing each season as each season passes by, watching the cycles of the year, honoring those cycles, recognizing that we celebrate the goddess and God that lives within us as we live within them. So that's, yeah. The value is immeasurable because we recognize that we are part of this colossal, stellar, nova, amazing, bright, lighted being that we are part of, and we have our part. And the value is that Wicca says and reconfirms every time we take a breath that we indeed are needed, and that we indeed are the ones that are valued. And because we're valued, that causes us, it becomes a catalyst to push us forward, to make our light even go and spread farther across the globe. Personally, I think that Wicca offers the world is this, that it is, in a sense, if we think of it this way, it's a ring of fire, or it's a circle with no beginning and no end. And just look at the earth of what it is. It's that circle, and it represents the solution. It represents the value of all humanity. And so this is what Wicca conveys every day. It conveys that spinning axis of the earth, the spinning earth itself, the spinning moon, the spinning sun, all conveying one message back to humanity, that we are indeed, that are valued, and know that we are going to work as one circle together.